This is the Canon M6 Mark II. Now stay tuned because this may be a very good camera for you to kickstart your wedding photography. Let's get started. What's up guys, it's John. A couple of months ago, I was in Langkawi shooting a portrait session for a client of mine, and I brought in the EOS M6 Mark II as a second camera body. I just want to say that this is a loaner unit from Canon, the EOS M6 Mark II. The rest of the gears are mine, and I'll be returning this camera after testing and reviewing the unit. For this photo assignment of mine, I'm shooting with the Canon 5D Mark III as my main camera and the EOS M6 Mark II as a secondary camera, together with these lenses that I have with me. So here's a quick specification of the EOS M6 Mark II that matters to me. Now, this is a 32.5 megapixel camera with the APS-C crop sensor at 1.6 when compared to a full-frame camera. It has good ISO, means that it performs very well in low light. It has an EOS M mount. It also has the renowned dual autofocus. All I know is that the whole entire back here is touch focus and I can press anywhere to get focus done, which is pretty cool. It also has physical buttons that I could change the camera setting easily while working with it. It doesn't have a built-in EVF, but you can purchase it separately attached on the hot shoe over here. Now, I was pleasantly surprised with the camera because at first I thought that this is a very nice casual photography camera. I can see myself legitimately using this camera as a second body, or if you are new to wedding photography, you may be purchasing this as your primary camera. I've got a 50mm f1.2, this is the 85mm f1.4, and this is the 20mm f1.4. Provided that these lenses are amazingly sharp lenses, the camera performs pretty well in delivering really good imagery, which I can use these photos taken to print out wedding albums and large prints if I wanted to. The autofocus is snappy, face tracking works brilliantly, lock in and focus and snap. There are physical buttons which makes control very fast, and the responsiveness of the camera makes the camera easy to use. Touchscreen autofocus, that's something that even the EOS 5D Mark III is not able to do. Well, the only downside of using this camera is when I started to use the wide angle, which I've got the 20mm with me over here. What it is at 20mm is not true 20mm because it's 1.6 crop. If I were to use the 20mm on my 5D Mark III, I will have a wider viewer angle. But the good thing is that when you put in the 85mm, I've got a further reach with the 85mm with the 1.6 crop. It's just so funny how the camera is so tiny because it's a mirrorless camera when compared to the 85mm 1.4. The weight distribution is a little bit odd, but I guess it's two arms holding it and shooting it. It feels comfortable though, I gotta say. The buttons are within reach and it's easy to control when I want to change ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. It's pretty good. Speaking of camera control of ISO, aperture, and shutter speed, learning how to expose a photo has been a lot easier with the bright LCD screen at the back. When you change these camera settings, the screen will show the exposure of the photo as how the photo would be at the end. There is an EVF that's sold separately if you would like to do that with a viewfinder. The EOS M6 Mark II is retailing about 4,002 ringgit. But there are a lot of discounts out there. If you scout and search for it, you probably ending up paying somewhere around 3,500. I would recommend to purchase the camera body only with the EOS M mount to the EF converter. I think EF mount is still the way to go in terms of securing your upgrade path in the near future. There are plenty of variety of EF lenses from budget all the way to the high-end ones to kickstart your wedding photography. Now, of course, these lenses over here, they are premium. What I would suggest you to purchase is the Canon 50mm f1.8, which costs about somewhere around 400 ringgit, and the 17 to 50mm Sigma f2.8 lens, and also the 85mm f1.8 Canon lens. Now, these are lenses which is long in the market and they are available in the second-hand market as well if you want to save a buck. A lot of people will be selling these lenses because those were the lenses that I will get before upgrading to these lenses over here. So if you are budget conscious, those are great options to get. The 50mm is a good general walkabout lens for portraits and wedding activities. while the 85mm has better reach for wedding ceremonies and speeches. And the wide angle can be used for so many reasons. Now these three lenses are pretty fast lenses, with the slowest being f2.8. And between these three lenses, the setup should be good enough for a wedding coverage. It's 2020, you'll probably end up getting the camera body at about, say, 3,005 ringgit. In 2004, when I started my photography career, this is the Canon 300D, and I got this for 4,000 ringgit. Legendary, it was 6 point something megapixel camera, highest ISO at 1006. It is the kit lens of 18 to 55mm with variable f-stops. It's not constant f-stop even. And this was a camera that I started with, and you guys are already ahead of the curve. So if you are starting your wedding photography today, I think the EOS M6 Mark II will be a good start. Let me bring out other Canon cameras that I used to own. Over here, man, and over here. Now, I'm most familiar with Canon line of products because throughout my wedding photography career, I've been using Canon, and I'm drawing experiences from my first camera and my upgrade camera. This is the 40D. I've got a 30D as well, and hence today EOS M6 is a very viable camera. Now these new cameras are pretty exciting, and it's pretty affordable as well, which makes me wonder the EOS RP will be a very good middle tier camera for wedding photography. Would you also purchase the EOS M6 Mark II as your backup camera if you are a full-time wedding photographer like myself? Or if you were to start off your wedding photography career, would you be purchasing the EOS M6 Mark II? Let me know in the comment below. Do thumbs up if you like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. Yeah. Yeah. It's not gonna stand. It's not gonna stand. It's not gonna stand. It's not gonna stand. Oh yeah, there you go. Damn.